that Church Scientology is so afraid of.
This is SPTV.
Hello guys, welcome back to another episode today of SPTV. And today we're going to be breaking down more information about Mila Kunis, something that a kid of Scientology sent us, actually, an interview that they saw and they thought it would be a good one to do a quick reaction video to, because as we continue to unravel this situation that happened with the Kutchers, and as much as the corporate media wants to pretend that it was just some sort of sweet, innocent mistake, dumb and naive mistake, we keep finding receipts that are all over the public record that don't make any sense, you guys. So I think it's important to continue to contextualize the involvement of all these people, because they couldn't have been more involved over decades of so-called friendship, with Ashton Kutcher having all manner of, connections with the tech bros, with the cult of Hollywood, with the cult of Scientology, and all of these three entities, tech bros, Hollywood, Scientology, who apparently really care about trafficking of minors at scale and are out there, purporting that they really do care, that they want to help as many kids as they can escape the scourge of trafficking. But, are they really helping anything, you guys, or are they helping themselves, is what we're asking ourselves today. So let's get into the background. And we're seeing here the Hollywood Reporter, guys, because yikes, the Hollywood Reporter, Shady AF, has been laundering the image of these people for quite a while. So CCU all at the Hollywood Reporter that really do come to the rescue when the image laundering services are needed. So shout out to you and all your friends, the little publicists of Hollywood that pitch you ideas, and reporters that at the Hollywood Reporter, they don't know how to ask a single question that's actually going to get anywhere, you guys. And, we cannot have a corporate media that has a lack of critical thinking skills, because as much as they put themselves, their brand, as the ones that really know what in the hell's going on, we couldn't find more things that they're dropping the ball on. It's just all fumbling of balls all over the place, you guys. Literally, we feel we're like at a football game of all these fumbled balls. And, each of those balls represents a child, no less. So it's not just that a ball got fumbled, it's that a child literally gets dropped. And, everybody just cheers along. So in this upcoming discussion, we're going to delve even deeper into the concerning incongruities surrounding Ashton Kutcher, who not too long ago made the unthinkable decision to step down as the chairman of the board of his personal 501c multi-million-dollar tech bro-backed so-called anti-child trafficking organization at Thorn, and his wife, Mila Kunis, who apparently also was on the board and also stepped down from her role as an observer of the board at Thorn. So apparently Mila also was doing a job called the observer of the board. So we really do wonder what Miss Mila Kunis was watching when she was observing that board, because it doesn't seem that Ms. Kunis had any shred of qualification to be observing a board. And Mr. Kutcher, who, purports to be very, very smart and knows everything about what in the hell is going on and can be a chairman of the board for, quite a few years, And then all of a sudden, the minute he actually got a tiny bit of heat, all he wanted to do was, let's really go to Time magazine and pitch that we're stepping down because nothing in America dupes everybody than stepping down. Right, guys? As soon as you step down, everybody forgets. Nobody knows anything. So what in the hell's going on? These revelations raise serious questions about the ethical business practices employed by both Hollywood and Scientology, who seem comfortable sharing very shady AF business practices. One hides under the so-called making art, so anything goes without a shred of guardrails or common sense. That seems to be the way that it goes in Hollywood, you guys. And then the other child abuse exposure scam hinges on America's so-called freedom of religion, where apparently also it allows for all the loss of trafficking of kids to become utterly paralyzed and toothless, where anything goes. And they even go as further by taking it upon themselves to redefine kids as adults in small bodies. So Hollywood, under this license that they give themselves to make art and, act unhinged and depraved and predatory on kids, as we're going to see, Miss Kunis was targeted at the age of 14. And it's alarming that while Hollywood allows underage individuals, including but not limited to as young as 14, to partake in inappropriate roles with adults, Scientology takes it a step further by exploiting children of the same age and turning said kids into actual slaves, all the while subjecting them to similarly unsuitable circumstances, including but not limited to systemically tapping underage kids to launder self-admitted Class A felonies after completing a 2-week course inside of a hotel, including but not limited to Celebrity Center Manor Hotel. The stark contrast between their public image and their actions calls into question the credibility of both Hollywood and Scientology in addressing the very issues they claim to really combat: trafficking and enslavement of kids. So our question is simple. In what world is anyone combating anything that they themselves are participating in breaking the literal toothless weak AF laws that we don't seem to ever be able to have anyone around willing to enforce? Right, guys? In what world does that happen? While Mila and Ashton both held those important AF positions on their multi-million-dollar 501c at Thorn, they chose to step down instead of stepping up to really fix the crisis. The crisis of having shredded their own credibility. A self-inflicted wound that they took it upon themselves to have their credibility utterly wrecked. All by themselves. One really has to ask himself, in what literal world, or better, in what country does that make a shred of sense? You guys, in what country could this make sense? Well, in the United States of America, a country that from one side of its mouth or constitution purports to have abolished slavery. All the while in the actual physical universe, in the real world today, not only supports, but it fully enables it and sponsors it. Systemic enslavement of minors, no less. So we will explore why these two, who are really all over the public record displaying that they are not pressed about lying or having highly questionable practices scrutinized in any real way, as they are receiving millions of dollars to so-called combat trafficking of minors. All the while, the Kutchers themselves appear to be actively involved in activities that contribute and add to the problem they are fighting. What does that work entail exactly? The incongruities in their actions and public stances raise legitimate concerns, and we'll be examining why these concerns are no more widely addressed by the corporate media, who are pretending their apology video was so bad, but now that the Time magazine said that they were stepping down from Thorn, is all literally Gucci. It's all just Gucci, guys. Literally, it's all just Gucci. Just wait a few months, guys. Just wait over there. It'll all just be water under the literal bridge soon, because America will just forgive you. Nobody wants cancel culture, right, guys? So what is the literal truth behind these troubling AF discrepancies? And what in the literal hell is going on? At Thorn Leadership, please advise ASAP. Kids of Scientology. So this is the video that's on the public record, guys, that has Miss Kunis being brought in. At the time, she was a young 17-year-old girl in 2001. Ashton Kutcher was 23. So let's just really see what is on our thumbnail today and how Miss Kunis was all over Ashton because, you know, Carol Masterson, Momager of the Year, as involved as Carol was in that 70s show, you know, didn't see anything wrong with, you know, tapping a 14-year-old to play this part because, you know, who cares, right, Carol? It's not like the hotels weren't doing it. It's not like Hollywood wasn't tapping all manner of minors to do it. I mean, shout out to Drew Barrymore. Another one of these child trafficking, you know, Hollywood actresses that I guess has not figured out that that's what it's called. What in the hell she was put up to be. Even though everyone's calling it, oh, isn't Drew so sweet back from the ET days? What in the literal hell was a young baby being put to work, being paid to pay her mother's bills? So maybe we really have to start revising that very broken model that Hollywood has, that Scientology has, about adulticizing kids in the name of so-called religious beliefs or art and entertainment, because it's not really smelling good today. It just literally makes us nauseous, you guys. So let's see what's going on in this interview.
We had the Ashton Kutcher on, we had Laura Prepon, right. We had Masterson and Topher Grace. And I'm saying, how many people do I have to go through to get to Mila from that 70s show?
Nice.
I wanted you on first, and we have to go Ashton Kutcher.
Of course, I know talks all the time. Yeah, that's true.
But you don't talk a lot, do you?
No, I'm no, never. I don't talk ever.
They say on the phone she didn't shut up. That's what they say.
Oh, that's so mean.
But we like that.
No, I guess I talk a lot sometimes.
Why is that?
Because I have a lot to say.
What do you want to say? What do you want to say?
Hi, Mom. Hi.
Okay, that's a lot to say.
I try.
How'd you get the part on that 70s show?
I auditioned.
Oh. Okay. Did you do anything else? They tell me
what
you
are you
lied.
implying?
They say you lied. They say.
Okay, all right, listen. I'm going to get this straight. I did not lie. I might have fibbed, but I did not lie. Okay? There's a huge difference.
Explain that.
Okay, I went on the audition, and on the breakdown, it said, breakdown's like a little piece of paper that says what they want out of a character. Mm-hmm. It said it has to be like 16 or older or 18 and older, right? Mm-hmm. And I think I was 14 or 13 at the time, actually.
You think?
I was 13, I think.
Okay.
13 or 14, I was 14.
Okay.
So I go in and I do the audition, and I'm fine, and then I go to network, and they ask me, how old are you? And I said, I'm going to be 18. I never said when.
Oh, that's the, I see.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
That's That's right. I'm going to be 18.
Yeah, well, I never said when.
5
so
years
I
later.
never lied.
Right.
Exactly. So now they said I'm the age I said I was going to be.
That's so, yeah.
So you guys bow down to your lies, Mila. Never mind that you were 17 years old then. You know, so the weight of your lies shouldn't be coming down on you necessarily, but it should really be coming down on the people in that network that apparently had not a shred of critical thinking skills for themselves, that apparently are so infantilized their damn selves that, you know, this 17-year-old girl, you know, that really wants to redefine lying and fibbing. This is how Mila Kunis thinks, you guys. Lying and fibbing is just, you know, I wasn't lying. I was just fibbing. I mean, I'm only 13, but the part really calls for an 18-year-old, given that Ashton Kutcher is not a minor himself. I mean, in what world is a 23-year-old having a 17-year-old girl be all over him on a show because they really are just acting? Oh, so it's all just make-believe. So when you just say the word acting, then all manner of laws get completely circumvented because what? Because exactly what? I mean, it's not even like we have that other creepy interview of them admitting that Ashton was the first man who ever kissed this 13-year-old girl who showed up to an audition. And, you know, Hollywood saw this specialness in her, you guys. I mean, that's how these malignant narcissists act, as if they showed up once a day and it was all just faith and so meant to be. I mean, everything was meant to be, you know. I really was there. I was just found to be so special. You know, my 13 years of age fooled everybody because, of course, they employed her without asking her for a shred of ID. In what world was she getting paid? Well, everyone in that production office of that 70s show, including Momager of the Year, Carol Masterson, was fully looped in on the fact of this girl's age. Fully looped in. So, Mila, unfortunately, lying and fibbing are the same thing. So just because, you know, you get away with it because you bat your eyelashes at everybody, it doesn't make it okay. Because the fact that you did lie and you did tell them seems to have put you in danger. And apparently your parents, pressed as they were to really give you to Hollywood because we really want our child to be part of this, what is it, culture? How is Hollywood any different than what these Scientology parents are doing, you guys? Literally delivering their kids on a silver platter to unhinged, infantilized adults that are going to go and be, let's all just pretend that this is a game. It's all just make believe. It's not really happening. I mean, the kiss is just on a script, so it doesn't count. And just so you know, Mila, guess where that was also the case? You got it, at Celebrity Center, where, you know, they were prepping us for roles. They were prepping us for roles at those centers that we were being trained as kids to also be tapped to do roles. They weren't as fun as yours, I would say. You know, we were being dressed in disgusting military uniforms is what it was at the time. So we were told that we were these like military people that really wanted to interrogate adults. And trust me, we were not joking around. We were not laughing. We would literally be shredded if we laughed or did anything not serious in those interrogations to the adults that couldn't wait to land in one of those hotels to have their way with us. Couldn't wait to pay enough money. Couldn't wait to have the IRS allow them to literally write off, including but not limited to $50,000, $100,000 off their taxes. Because why not go to a Clearwater, Florida hotel or Los Angeles hotel filled with teenagers and minors? You know, and it'd be great for your whole team, Mila, to look at the interview we did with Katrina Reyes, child that was trafficked all the way from Siberia into the United States, so that she was put to be the handler of, she went over today, Kelly Preston Travolta. Miss Kelly Preston Travolta, that also thought, what a great idea to have a 13-year-old girl look after me as an adult because I'm so important. What a great idea to have a 13-year-old girl get in trouble because, you know, Kelly Preston wasn't being sessionable, Mila. So our jobs were much different. Nobody was glamorizing us or telling us that we were that special. But, you know, our faces were being ripped off on the regular by unhinged executives that, you know, tapped us to become slaves for celebrities. Like I was tapped to be, you know, Lisa Marie Presley's slave, to really supervise her, to really teach her something. What in the hell was I teaching that woman? What in the literal hell? So those are the incongruencies that you really need to figure out, Mila, because fibbing and lying is not funny, especially given what you're talking about. And let's just continue to see more gross examples of, you know, the people of Hollywood that really thought, what a great idea, and have this late night show really ask these disgusting questions of the 17-year-old girl. Here you go, you guys.
That's fibbing. That's
not lying, right? It's just
I agree with you.
Little white fib.
Yeah,
right,
it's
of
very
course.
creative. Yeah, that's good. Are you current?
You know, guys, who is very creative is Miss Kunis, who very creatively also decided to scam NFT buyers of her stone cats. Miss Kunis, who definitely thought maybe she was fibbing to a judge when she wrote that letter about how this and that and this and that and this and that, right? So you were just fibbing, Mila, when you wrote all those things about Danny, that he was such a great influence on you and you couldn't have been more removed from, you know, drug culture. Stoner cats is not drug culture that you were pushing, but, you know, Danny had such a big influence on you. So it looks like none of your lies are adding up today, Mila. That's the problem with this. It looks like since you've been a 13-year-old girl, you've been a little manipulator, batting your eyelashes to get casted because the infantile, degenerate producers of the 70s show really apparently fell for whatever in the hell you were selling them to then. Never mind that was not your fault. You could not be blamed for lying about that. You could not be blamed because it's not like they found out real quick, right, guys? Because it's not like nobody had a shred of tax to file on how this woman was being paid at the time. So it'd be great to understand how the producers of that show came up with this brilliant plan to tap Miss Kunis for this disgusting role that she should have never been anywhere near, given that she was, like she said, vying for this audition at 13, 14.
Currently, how does it work? I always wonder when you're your age, are you still going to school? Do you have a tutor, or how does
I do. I go to public school.
You go to public school?
Yeah, I go to Fairfax High School.
Fairfax is a block away from TV City.
Yeah, home of the Roaring Lions.
Yeah.
It's.
So are you supposed to be doing homework now? Do you got to leave?
I am. I'm supposed to be in school as we speak. No, I'm kidding. This is actually my 1 week off. We have a 1 week off like every month, and I'm supposed to be in school, but
Okay.
I'm here instead.
That's okay.
But
Well,
I mean.
You know who else was supposed to be in school, Mila? And we weren't anywhere near a school. Us, the kids that were tapped to be slaves at the Celebrity Center, at the Fort Harrison Hotel, at the Sandcastle Hotel, at all of those hotels. We were also your same age. But you know what? We didn't go to Fairfax High School because, just the Scientology executives were even a step lower than the degenerates of the producers of the 70s show. Because those hotel executives really, really, really bought their own false pitch about how kids were adults in small bodies. And as long as they trained us to become these disgusting interrogators that were going to be practicing law without a license, then it didn't matter. Why go to school when you really are getting taught, an ability for you to be charging $500 an hour? I mean, in what legal world can any of you guys in the comments tell us how somebody like myself at age 12 was tapped to be trained on a 2-week course inside a hotel where I came up with the whopping ability to start charging people, including but not limited to adults, up to $500 an hour to be interrogated by a 12-year-old kid. $500 an hour. That's what top attorneys charge today, you guys. I mean, $500 an hour and you're getting yourself a pretty good attorney that it didn't take him 2 weeks to become, your advisor, your legal advisor. The attorneys that I've seen charge $500 actually have to have a license. And, there's all manner of supposed checks and balances that they have to go through to make sure that they really will be a good legal advisor. But we inside of those hotels were told to ask people if they had any criminal history, any felonies they had never been arrested for. And then it was up to us, the 12-year-olds, the 13-year-olds, the 14-year-olds, the 15-year-olds, the 16-year-olds, the 17-year-olds, the 18-year-olds to float the felonies. As soon as they incriminated themselves, what's the big deal? Technology from L. Ron Hubbard is floating. Who gives a shred of an F about the law? The law in America could not be any more of a joke if L. Ron Hubbard didn't circumvent all the toothless laws. That there is not one single state bar association in America to enforce that the actual attorneys don't become corrupt AF, you guys. Because apparently there are no repercussions for attorneys. They can just run buck wild and just write all manner of ridiculous things. And all of a sudden, the laws are toothless. All of a sudden, no one can find their literal spine anywhere. Their tiny little spine, boom, disappears. So a lot of stuff is being revealed by the way that these systems have been operating and how they've been pitching each other ideas. Hollywood and Scientology both tapping minors and kids to use them for different purposes. But some of those purposes include tapping them to do roles that are completely unthinkable. And that's definitely getting called out just today in this year 2023, you guys. It's not like anyone's really really upset about anything, right? It's only us here, the 83 people that are on our live. Thank you for joining, guys. Thank you for liking and subscribing and joining and seeing what else in the hell is up here in this interview.
This is kind of a learning experience.
It is.
Huh?
It is. Yeah, it's
You
like a
see
little
Farina?
history. I did. Oh, he's so awesome. I'm going to go see his movie tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. You're going to play Yamba with him later, by the way.
Great.
Here's the thing. Okay, I just want to give you a little advice on Yambo. Fibbing doesn't get you anywhere in Yambo.
Look, I did not, when I came on the show, they did not tell me I was going to have to play this game. I come today, and they're like, yeah, so, you know, this is what we're going to talk about. I'm like, okay, and they're like, you're going to play Yambo. I'm like, what? Like, I did not have a clue I was going to play this game.
Are you nervous?
So I'm a big chicken. Yeah,
Well, if you want to back out, fine.
No, hell no.
All
no,
right.
no. I'll sing dinosaurs.
Where are you from?
Russia. Ukraine.
Oh, you're from
Russia,
Ukraine?
yeah.
When did you move over here?
10 years ago.
10 years ago when you were, who knows?
Seven and a half. Whatever, I could lie, make up an age.
You were going to be 18 maybe, who knows?
See, you guys, whatever. I can lie. I can make up an age. Who cares? 7.5. Who cares? I mean, I can lie. Stoner cats. Really buy it, you guys. Really buy my unregistered security, you guys. Because who cares? I mean, come on. You know? Who cares? Just buy an unregistered security. I'm Mila Kunis, and I endorse this message. I'm Mila Kunis, and I will, you know, tap other, you know, celebrity friends of mine. Let's get Jane Fonda to also be part of Stoner Cats, because as long as we get Jane Fonda and anyone else that is too stupid to see what in the hell we're actually doing and soiling their reputation by getting involved with this little miss, who cares? I lie, I fib, who cares? Come on. I'm so young and, you know, no one can call me out. The adults are just so goo-goo gaga for me. And, you know, what in the hell is actually what we're seeing, you guys, honestly?
And what did the folks do? Why they decided to move? And did they tell you all about it or what?
They did not tell me because I had a big mouth. And so they didn't want everybody to know that we were going to America. I mean, that was like a big thing. If you're moving to a different country, people were like, you know, they were kind of, you know, it's just not something that was
it's the greatest country in the world and everyone wants to move here.
Right. So my parents never told me because they thought I was going to have a big mouth and tell everybody in school, which I probably would. So it's true. But,
So shout out to this guy who really does want to pitch us that America is the greatest country in the literal world, you guys. And you know what? That pitch has been going around for a while. Except that today, America, in this year 2023, if it really wants to continue saying that pitch, they really literally need to go look for a mirror ASAP and see if there's a reflection there when they step in front of that mirror, right? See if America has the ability to self-reflect. Because you know what a malignant AF narcissist doesn't get to see when they go step in front of a mirror, you guys. Very much like vampires. They see no self-reflection. And that's what allows them to be depraved, unhinged, perverse, infantile, thirsty bloodsuckers of kids' literal time. All because, yeah, we're in the movie industry. Make believe. Everything's a role play. Everything's make believe. Everything is okay. La 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 la. Like, what in the literal hell? Like, things are not a role play if you're actually on Ashton Kutcher's lap at 14. Mila, that's not just make believe just for the show. And never mind that this was done in front of all of America's eyes, you guys. It's not like this was all hidden. It's not like, oh, she's 14 and she really is doing this, you know. And before we go, well, but it was so long ago. It was everything so long ago. I mean, America's been obsessed with propping up figures that don't have a shred of reason they should be being propped up given their involvement in the depravity, right? But as long as they literally put the depravity all over the screen, as if doing it with a lot of self-entitlement is all it takes to break the laws. Very a la Elvis Presley. Oh yeah, I'm really in love with Priscilla. Who was Priscilla and how old was she? Priscilla Presley, who was handed to Elvis Presley, another one as a minor. Here you go, Elvis Presley. Take our daughter, travel around, do whatever in the hell you want with her. So, oh yeah, but that was so long ago. Nobody had a shred of a clue what morality was back in the day, I guess. because none of this ever raised a shred of a red flag for anyone working in the entire industry. And, we're going to be doing some other interviews reacting to how Priscilla Presley literally wants to pitch that. Priscilla, who was herself trafficked as a minor, then really thought, what I should really do as a mother since I was trafficked? What a great idea. I should just traffic my own daughter. And you know what else? While I'm at it, why don't we just also traffic my granddaughter, Riley Keough, who has all manner of celebrity presidents on her lines advising her, psh, 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 Riley this, Riley that, what's going on? No. Handlers from hell, you guys, completed a 2-week literal course in a hotel, and all of a sudden they have unfeathered access to Riley Keough, because who familiarized Riley Keough with all these handlers? Bingo, Lisa. And where's Riley Keough's literal brother, Benjamin? Bingo, not with us anymore. So nothing makes sense between these celebrity artists that really want to pitch themselves as, artists, do whatever in the hell you want, get your freak on what you can, do it in front of the TV, and then it doesn't count. And it couldn't be more obvious today, literally.
Was it specifically, we want to go to America to go to Fairfax High?
That's exactly what it was. My brother to go to Berkeley and for me to go to Beverly High. It was Fairfax High.
Right.
But yeah, so they didn't tell me, and we had all these boxes in my house. Yeah. And I'm like, what are these boxes for? And like, oh, we're just remodeling. I'm like, yay, remodeling. Like, I was all like really stupid. And so we get in this plane. I'm like, where are we going? Like, I've never been in a plane before.
They didn't tell you?
They didn't tell me until I got in the plane. Like, oh, we're going to, I'm like, what's America? Like, I had no idea what America was. Not a clue.
You didn't know about the...
You're not taught in Russia what America is. You're taught in Russia that Russia's the best country in the world. And okay, look, I was 7.
All right.
So they teach you about how amazing Russia is and how, blah-de-blah, and so they never talk to America about. So I was,
Really?
I was like, what's America? So I arrive and I see these big palm trees. I was really freaked out.
Aren't they beautiful?
Yeah, but they freaked me out. I had no...
Yeah, Mila, all these countries, you guys, really pitching themselves. We're the greatest. We're the most wonderful. We're the most elite. We're the ones that are the best. We're the ones that this. And, never mind that there is not a shred of evidence to actually support those fake AF claims. And we're not comparing Russia and America, but America is getting called out for literally, supposedly being all about anti-communism. And that's so bad. It really does infringe on people's rights. Only to turn around and literally allow L. Ron Hubbard, the convicted felon that he was, the right to be called, what is it, you guys? An American-bred God that really came up with a religion that pitched, like literally, okay, let's put a little bit of communism. Boop, boop, boop. Let's put a little bit of Hitler's rhetoric. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Let's put a little bit of KGB. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Let's put a little bit of everything that the child trafficking laws say to not do. And let's just do that exactly what they say to not do. Let's put a little coercion. Let's put a little fraud. What do we have here? Fine, they're not doing it to the entire country, every single last shred of person. We're not saying that, but every last kid that ended up in those hotels being forced to become who they were told to become, not have a shred of individual thought for themselves, their parents literally turning them in. Here you go. Have at it with my kid. I don't give a shred of an F. Give me the status that I deserve for sacrificing my own underage kid. Make that make sense, Hollywood Reporter. How many child abuse stories has a Hollywood Reporter run with, you guys? How much has the Hollywood Reporter really put any shred of care into this issue? It's not like Hollywood doesn't have, kids that have been offing themselves as a result of being entrenched in their disgusting, depraved culture from hell that America really wants to tell we're the best.
And I had Coke, Pepsi for the first time, and I hated hamburgers. I love them now. I'm sorry, all the vegetarians, but I love hamburger. I love it.
You were drinking Pepsi and you hadn't had that before?
No, I never had it before. Pepsi or Coke, I'm not sure. I came to America and the first drink, I was like, oh, what's this? Because it was a black. It just looked really nasty.
You sure it wasn't LA tap water? Or not? How does that work? How does that work? When you got here, did you speak any English?
No, I did not speak English.
How did you learn English?
I went into second grade, and I had a great friend who I met in second grade who was kind of like my translator, but was a little on the not so nice of a side. So she didn't really want to translate everything for me. So, But she's my best friend now. She's my best friend. I've been best friends with her for 10 years. But anyway, so between second and third grade, I went to a camp. It was like this all-American camp, and there was not a single person that spoke Russian there.
Right.
So I had no choice but to learn. But plus, I watched a lot of TV.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Price is Right.
Oh, you learned.
Well, isn't that nice for you, Mila, that did come here from Ukraine, and just to juxtapose your little experience, just going to make some Mexican lemonade, you guys. And just to juxtapose your experience about how you watch so much TV and you had this and that privilege when you did come to this country. You know who didn't have that privilege? Katrina Reyes, that we interviewed today, that was brought in from Siberia. She wasn't allowed to watch a shred of TV. She was supposed to learn L. Ron Hubbard as a language, never mind that she needed to learn English and L. Ron Hubbard because she also spoke not a shred of English. And you know who didn't speak a shred of English when I came to this country too? I barely did some courses in high school and was trying to, I did watch cartoons, English cartoons, you guys. So I grew up on the Smurfs and the Care Bears and My Little Pony. Never mind that, My Little Pony I had to watch hiding because my parents would punish me anytime they found me watching girly things. But, I did learn some English, but I was supposed to study disgusting L. Ron Hubbard's disgusting rhetoric when I literally had just completed 7th grade. So just to juxtapose, and you will see, I did post on our community tab, you guys, the photo of the new Children of Hollywood being pitched at awards. And, juxtapose against what the Scientology children are made to do. Because very different experience. But, like we like to say, same shit, different air freshener. That's all that is, right?
You learned English from The Price is Right?
I did. You know what? My mom and I, when I didn't, on Friday mornings, whenever I didn't go to school in the mornings, I'd, watch with my mom. And that's how we learned, it was just, because people on television or even on the news, they speak really slow. So it's really easy to understand what they're saying. So, Bob Barker spoke slow. And
Bob Barker, the show's still on. He's still alive.
Okay,
yeah.
On my way here.
Exciting? Yeah.
Listen, on my way here, my friend and I were driving up, like, oh my God, all these people are coming out of the building. They all had those big name tags on.
Yeah.
We were so jealous. We wanted to ditch the show and go see Price is Right.
Yeah, they tape it down the hall.
I know, I'm so excited.
And you know who I hang with and drink beer? Rod Roddy. Rod Roddy and I are like that.
The guy with the golden suit? You guys are tight?
Yeah.
You're like brothers?
We drink.
For sure.
We throw down. We do the whole thing.
You throw down?
Okay, listen, I got to mention this. Is this big for you?
Oh,
This is
God.
This is the Stuff magazine. Did you enjoy posing?
I mean, you guys. Office sex expose. Who's doing what and to whom? And let's also put a minor on the cover, right? Because why not put this minor's face next to office sex exposed and it doesn't raise a single shred of a red flag for no one, including but not limited to Mila Kunis's parents, who I guess were like, yay, we're going to live the American dream. All we had to do was bring our daughter here, our beautiful daughter that America really is going to, you know, put on the cover of a literal magazine like this.
Thanks.
Huh?
Did I enjoy posing?
What'd you tell him? You're going to be 25 pretty soon?
Okay,
What's wrong? Just come on.
No, you know what? It was a great thing for me to do, and I enjoy. The shoot took, I think, 12, 11 hours.
Yeah.
Because of the wardrobe, like they wanted me to wear these skinky little bikinis. Like no. Like at the 5-hour wardrobe, because I wanted to be halfway clothed, and I was. I mean.
Oh, good, you guys. Oh, isn't that just amazing and awesome? That the child in the room, it took her 12 hours to get through the photo shoot because the people in the photo shoot couldn't stop pitching skimpy bikinis that they wanted to see her on. And she really got her way, Miss Kunis, because she really was halfway clothed in that thing that we just saw. So again, wow, amazing Hollywood. I mean, as if you're not even literally being called out by the naivete and the gullibility of the 17-year-old, who you can see how embarrassed and humiliated she is as she's being objectified in this disgusting magazine. And again, you guys, in what world is that normal? In what world does a child that's underage consent to be exploited, to be objectified in such a disgusting, unthinkable way? So how is America the great country that it purports to be when they're tapping Hollywood to create a culture of the most disgusting, horrific things that we can possibly think of?
Look at it.
Yeah, it's
shirt
not,
and pants.
It's tasteful. Shorts. I looked inside, but I don't want to do that right now because you're here and I feel shy and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, he feels shy, guys. He feels shy and all that kind of stuff. Well, you know what, Mila, just an FYI, the people that came to the hotels were not even as nice as this guy that's telling you, oh yeah, I feel very shy. In those hotels, Mila, they were not shy, as Katrina just told us today. Men would be able to go into their audits and go, you know who's really turning me on? That girl that keeps coming and asking me if I took enough vitamins. I can't stop looking at her, you know what, here. And then you know who would have got in trouble? And mind you, they weren't wearing skimpy clothes like you, Mila. They were beautiful girls, also Russian girls in the case of Miss Reyes. But Miss Reyes was just told to get a one-size shirt up so that the men would stop looking and literally doing you know what to themselves while they were paying to admit, they were paying to tell them everything. So we just thought that would be a fun fact for your team at Thorn, leadership at Thorn, that really wants to solve trafficking in America, to write that little note for yourselves, leadership at Thorn. So you can start explaining to us how this trafficking works, because we couldn't be more confused right about now.
Very shy.
I do need to point out, though, there's a rule, exception we did with Lipnicki, that you could play Yambo if you're under, he was under like 5'3", and he was like, you know, under 10 or something. But I don't know, if you're only 17, I don't know if you can play Yambo.
It could be a problem. I
Yeah.
can lie and say I'm 18. That make you feel better?
Are you gonna be 18?
I am gonna be 18. In August. I found out your birthday's August 24th, you just said. 24th.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm 14.
I'm a Virgo.
I'm a Leo.
Oh, cool.
What's your point? Leos are much better.
So shout out to Mila Kunis, you guys, that just told us that she's a Leo. And just to bring it a little off the subject, Nicki Minaj, one of her lyrics says, I don't believe them. They be lying like Leos. So shout out to Leos who lie. Not every Leo lies, but apparently some do. And apparently that's a well-known fact. Even Nicki Minaj knows. I don't believe them. They be lying like Leos. So you, Mila Kunis, apparently think it's very funny to fib. You can only just change the word lie to fib. And then all of a sudden, who cares? You didn't do anything wrong. You just fibbed. And you just batted your eyes. And that's all it takes.
Good energy. Oh, that's fun. Okay, save that. We're going to come back here to play Yambo. And
Well, they're going to play Yambo, guys. And believe you me, you don't even need to waste y'all's time anymore. Because I think that, we've learned a lot. So let's go through your comments and see if there's any questions here for us today. From Gypsy. Hi, Serge. I'm here and listening, learning, and supporting through watching. I live 200% below the national poverty level, so I'm not able to send cash. Well, hi, Gypsy. Shout out to you. And no worries. We're not here to collect any cash from y'all. We're here to expose the facts, and we're here to have these unthinkable truths listened to. And the fact is, you guys, one, Gypsy is one of our most supported people in our community. So shout out to you. And that's all we need. We don't need, we don't need cash from anybody, you guys. Anyone can do it if that's in your means, but this is not even about cash at all. I swear to you, we don't care about the cash. So, but thank you, Gypsy. Joe Spring, there's a video of them making fun of an apology video called Imagine, where they make fun of it in front of the same wall. They did their apology video, which is just to the side of their mega pool. Yeah, Joe, I watched that video. I mean, it's like, it's hard. There's so much content to react to because it's not like these, people that hog the camera for themselves and have gotten away with, doing a ton of crazy, disgusting, corrupt things with no one telling them no. And that's the problem, you guys, with these unhinged narcissists that are become malignant narcissists, all molded by Hollywood, no less. Nobody tells them no. They are surrounded by yes men that, all they have to do is pay them money. So it's unthinkable. Teresa, totally. She was probably forced to admit she lied about her age. Yeah. I mean, and then the fact that they're just making fun of it. I mean, how is that a funny thing if they all knew that they needed a person that was at least 18, she says, to play the role, given that the writers knew what they were going to put that character to do. But, but this girl lied and, whatever. Christian B. Hey, everyone. Today's my birthday. Well, happy birthday. Shout out to you, Christian B. Happy birthday. Hope you had a wonderful birthday. And thank you for spending your birthday with us here today. Finding all the details of the lies of underage Mila Kunis. So shout out to you. Here's another one. Brooke Shields is the worst example of inappropriate roles managed by her mother. One Love. Yes, One Love. We also saw that film. And, you see Miss Shields' cognitive dissonance trying to make sense of the completely, utterly nonsensical. As much as, but it was such a long time ago and it didn't really affect me and la, 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 la. Well, you know what, Brooke Shields? Maybe it didn't affect you, strong woman of the year that you are. But a ton of girls that did get put through to do that as minors are getting affected. So whoever involves themselves in this disgusting type of stuff can save themselves a pitch. Because while maybe you want to really pitch that it didn't affect you, think about other kids that it does definitely affect them. So there. We agree with you. Chris Londo, thought about indie films that are in Hollywood. Chris, again, it's like, I indie films are great. Art is great. Don't involve kids in it. Right? It's like, that's all we're saying. Have a shred of guardrails, have a shred of common sense. I mean, maybe you can involve a kid here and there on maybe some appropriate role, but you're not going to be doing these roles where you're going to be sitting the child on someone's lap, or like Brooke Shields playing a literal prostitute. I mean, in what world was that acceptable? And we don't care that Brooke Shields thinks it's all great and wonderful. Like, miss us with your BS, Miss Shields. We don't need to buy your BS. That it didn't affect you, and you're so great and so grounded, and your mom is this and your mom is that. Your mom is who she was, and she literally normalized it for you. And denounce it AF. And yeah, it wouldn't really happen today. Never mind that it's still happening, you guys. Like, these child actors are everywhere. And, they've now moved into child actors to influencers, because if they're really kind of on YouTube, then no one really kind of can even put any of the so-called guardrails that are in Hollywood to make sure that kids are not abused. But again, it's like, if the laws don't get applied and the so-called rules aren't really applied, they're just platitudes written on a paper that no one actually gives a shred of an F about, well, what in the hell? AB Dassel, oh my God, they hate me. I'm always laughing. Oh, I don't know what that was about, but laugh away, AB Dassel. There's, we don't know if we should laugh or cry half the time, right? Like, we don't literally know if we should just be like, ha ha ha, but never mind that it's a laughing or crying situation, to be honest. Daria, I should say, down with the toxicity of celebrity, a gross hierarchy that is not even made up of the best people of the earth. That's right, Daria. Good point. I mean, and that's what's getting called out, right? Because it's like, with all this corrupt corporate media that has been laundering all of these people's images to really popularize them, make them part of pop culture. Because really, we should be looking for pop culture for cues about what in the hell, you guys. Like, what in the hell is pop culture good for? I mean, we're finding it pretty hard to find a shred of thing that they're good for, other than contaminating people, self-aggrandizing themselves, and being the worst role models for kids, for people Mila's age. I mean, at the time, even I thought she was great. Oh my God, isn't it great? All these 70 people, aren't they so great? We were all made to idolize them as if they were some sort of, special people, and they couldn't be less special, you guys. Question, did Mila Kunis run and hide when some cast members of Family Guy had their talking sessions? I don't know, but good question. Thank you, Frisino. I don't know about that. Ellen, her face expression tell embedded information outside the story she's telling, and with hands publicly. I agree, Ellen. She looks extremely uncomfortable. Extremely. You can tell from this interview how inappropriate everything is, and how aware she is of that, and how aware she is that she's being objectified, and how aware she is that cover that took 12 hours, well, she tells us she was getting pitched to wear something skimpy. Never mind that they still got away with it, right? It wasn't a bikini, but, it was really tight pants and really short cropped shirt, and she was really underage. So wearing makeup and, over-sexualizing girls, to really set that as a standard for all the other girls. Fairfax, Ellen. Yeah, Fairfax High, which is, in LA. So yeah, home of the Roaring Lions, like Mila Kunis said. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Shout out to you, Amanda. Shout out to you, Whiteness. Martha. Carrie Ann, thank you. You were a legal, psychological, and professional punching bag. What a terrible trauma, Serge. I'm sorry, little search experiences. Well, thank you, Daria. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. A psychological, a legal, and a professional punching bag, you guys, because as much as they adulticized us to be the so-called interrogators, you know, actors that we were playing a part, right? Because let's not forget, we had a script. L. Ron Hubbard wrote scripts of how to carry out these interrogations, you guys. I mean, I said it in my live with Aaron the other day. We were told to interrogate these adults. It's interrogations done hammer and tongues. So it was all to be done extremely serious. It was all to be done, you know, when we were facing unthinkable consequences if these adults got away with having committed felonies, you guys, and we not finding out about it. I mean, imagine that they would have blamed the child for an adult committing a felony and literally, kid you not, fibbing to the minor and answering the question, no, I've never committed any felony. I've not been arrested for. And if that child took that at its face, oh, okay, well, let's move on to the next question. And the adult was just doing something with his daughter 2 weeks ago. What would happen, you guys, is then another auditor would interrogate them. And then that auditor maybe was not a minor and would have actually found that information. Well, the minor, oh my God, who missed this withhold is what they would call it. Who didn't find out? And that's what makes this so egregious and indefensible, you guys. In what world are minors conducting enhanced interrogation depositions from hell in this United States of America, inside those hotels, that Florida could not be more floored to have their entire downtown propping this up? That the Clearwater Police Department could not be more happy to come to the defense of these people that are tapping kids to play these disgusting roles inside of those hotels. Hollywood and Scientology are into filming production, you guys. And yes, it's the films of L. Ron Hubbard that they do, but what about the films that they do that is their reality show from hell, where people are locked up in those hotel rooms getting interrogated by minors? Because that's what we're calling out. And Daria points out very smartly, I mean, you guys are so smart. I mean, in 3 literal, look at Daria's comment, you guys, in 2 lines, she says more than the entire editorial board of the New York Times, the entire editorial board of the Tampa Bay Times, the entire editorial board of the Hollywood Reporter. Because she understood that children were being made into psychological, professional, and legal punching bags where adults could pay to make those kids legal punching bags. And here's Ellen. License came from a cracker box. LOL. Ellen, absolutely. I mean, might as well. Literally like 2 weeks, really quickly. We really have it going on in these hotels. We really know what in the hell we're doing, because we only have all the best attorneys advising us, telling us that we can do whatever. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing. I mean, only a convicted felon wrote and normalized what y'all are doing. So what is any shred of attorney with a law license going to really say to really discuss, you know, a full-blown indicted felon that wrote memos that really normalized this at scale? Like literally unthinkable, you guys. It's human trafficking. It's terrible. I'm very sorry this happened to you and others. Well, thank you, Kenneth. Yes. And that's why we are, you know, exposing it for what it is, because we're so sick of that disgusting bullshit pitch, half-baked narrative from the corporate media. They really were in a church, you guys. Oh my God. Jenna Miscavige had a rocky childhood at church, you guys. That's what the corporate media went with. The Tampa Bay Times the editor of the Tampa Bay Times, Thomas C. Tobin, read Jenna Miscavige's book and literally sat himself in front of a typewriter typing. And what he came up with is rocky childhood in church. Couldn't have been a more fake, ridiculous headline, you guys. Thomas C. Tobin, the gullible, naive AF, zero-critical thinking skills that he's got in his brain, where he did go see, it says the Fort Harrison Hotel, but these people say they're in a church. Well, you know what? That's what we got to go with at the Tampa Bay Times because we have no shred of critical thinking skills. So let's really just type it. Rocky. I mean, how pathetically gaslighting enablers this corporate media has been, you guys, because it's not like everyone in Tampa Bay is going like, well, you know, it is America. We really have to let anyone do whatever they want to do with kids, right? Nothing we can do. It's all very complicated because, you know, who in the hell is going to go advocate for kids that don't have a shred of a clue what in the hell is happening to them? But, you know, as soon as we pitch this little story of rocky childhood, our legal department is going to literally have this, you guys, and this is what we're calling out. The stupid ass legal department of the Tampa Bay Times who says rocky childhood in church, and they have a little, yay, let's go with that. No one will sue us. Everything will be just amazing. And you know, we will actually cash checks for ourselves from our stupid, ridiculous story. And no, as long as we say the word church 20, 30, 40 times in a thing, then we're really going to be unbiased. They can't come after us. We called you what you said you were. We really bought your pitch. And, you know, our reporting is so unbiased here at the Tampa Bay Times, where, you know, the literal Fort Harrison Hotel, the literal San Castle Hotel, the literal Celebrity Manor Hotel with pools, with rooms, with check-in, with bellboys, with receptionist, with paying, including but not limited to $350 a night for a luxury stay at these hotels, is a church religious experience that these adults are having for themselves, you guys. So, what in the literal hell? Mila Kunis, and I don't nearly have enough hundreds of millions of dollars hoarded with me and Ashton. Not nearly enough. Hundreds of millions. Yeah, 275 million to be exact, you guys. So Mila and Ashton, who went around selling unregistered securities, soiling other celebrities into their scam. Literally, hey, what's up, Jane Fonda? Why don't you just also sign up for this? You'll get rich quick. Because that's what they're all into in Hollywood. Let's run our little get rich quick schemes and nobody will find out anything. Isn't that nice, you guys? Liz Ferris, you are amazing. Well, thank you, my friend. You are amazing. I'm catching up. Hey, Kenneth, how did Jane Fonda get involved? Do you know, Serge? It's crazy. Hey, Kenneth, I don't know exactly. I don't think she was involved to the degree that these other people were doing. A lot of times these celebrities get told, oh, really sign up for this project. They really want your voice. They're really waiting, you know, they're going to pay you this much money. And then they just like, you know, sign up, you know, like everybody was signing up for crypto scams like Larry David and all these people that are getting sued for endorsing, you know, never mind that, you know, Larry David, as much as he's he went and pitched the scam and he probably doesn't even have a shred of a clue what in the hell he's pitching. And I have a feeling that, you know, Jane Fonda didn't do a shred of due diligence for herself either. Because again, you know, you hear Mila and Ashton, the ones have been pitched ad nauseum as the brainiacs of the century, that, you know, They only play brainiac when they're trying to raise money, you guys. And then they play dumb when they're caught with their pants down. Oh, no, we're just so stupid. We're such airheads that we don't know in the hell what we're doing. Oh, let's just quickly just step down from this multi-million-dollar, 501c that we are running, because for 10 years, they've been collecting how much money have they been making for themselves? Supposedly really, advocating for trafficking as they sit there writing letters to a judge where, they were not advocating for a shred of victim of the type of convicted stuff, their little bestie that put a moral compass in them according to their letter. Danny Masterson literally put a moral compass on these two, apparently. So that's what we're really shocked about. Tim, Mila isn't that bright. Wouldn't surprise me if she's broke. She and Prepon both mobbed up with their careers. Yeah, Tim, I mean, she's, what we're calling them out here for mostly is playing dumb, right? Because these people are smarter than you think, right? They are calculated AF. They can just literally mold into whatever the convenience wind is flying. So money is the backbone of Scientology and Hollywood. And wherever the money's flowing, that backbone goes. So the backbone tends to be just like this because there is none. It'll fly here, it'll fly there. Who's throwing money? Okay, let's all go over there. Where are we going to make a lot of money? Let's just all go over there. Leave our critical thinking skills far behind, because as long as you're making money, nothing matters, is kind of what we're understanding here. Gypsy One, yeah, I'm disappointed with Jane Fonda. I can't believe Jane Fonda didn't do her own research before going on Stone Cats. Absolutely. I mean, again, it's like if you're endorsing something, you have to do your own research. And if you're having people that tell you everything is great, a la yes men, a la I'm going to get some brownie points and I'm going to get some commission, they're agents. So you see, guys, so it's a whole matrix of enablers and colluders and collusioners. And it's not just Mila. It's Mila being enabled to do what she's doing and having a ton of little elves doing the corrupt stuff, so-called co-conspirators. I think that's what the call calls it. Sky Queen, is she on speed? Well, she did start out by saying that, when she came to America, the first thing she did was try Coke. And then she really kind of backpedaled and said, well, Coca-Cola. But she is really all about a drug-free culture. And she really cannot, stop selling her unregistered securities, pitching stoner culture. So, again, you guys, in what world is this going to make any sense to anybody, right? Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And then Freda, blackmail. Yep, that's exactly what we're calling out. The KGB calls it compromat. Compromat. And that's what Scientology specializes in. And in a way, you guys, that's also what Hollywood actually specializes in themselves, right? Because as long as they have the dirt on people, they're all sorts of influenceable. The influencers become the influenceable. Right? So Ashton Kutcher becomes the useful idiot, another KGB term that is used for these people that can be used as useful idiots, that will be the vessels of the corruption, that will be the public faces of the scheme. That's what they are called, you guys. Useful idiots. Thank you. Sky Queen. Thank you. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Ellen. Someone said Mila had grooming, and it doesn't seem like that happened from a lot of angles, even just hearing her speak from her own mouth. Well, I mean, yeah, every child that's exposed to a manipulative AF environment is being groomed, right? So we're even advocating for her at this moment as she was thrown into this cesspool of unhinged, depraved degenerates that were wanting to make money with Miss Kunis's looks. I mean, it's not like she's some ugly girl that didn't have it going on, right, guys? But what in the hell what was anyone doing tapping her to play the girlfriend of a man who was not underage himself, just to start with that fact? And then it just goes downhill from there. This one here, Tim wearing a Mick Jagger shirt. Jagger is another he. I mean, yep, allegedly Bijou Phillips' sister had a little, inappropriate encounter with the rock stars, the ones that were all supposed to literally worship the ground they walk on, because aren't we so much better off with all of these people, you guys, around us that really are? What in the hell is going on? Case in the house. I feel bad for Mila at that time, made to feel like she has to play the part of cooperative guest on a talk show. Absolutely, Kay. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to, right? Like, in what world are we going to really blame Mila as a 17-year-old girl for being lured? Aren't you going to be so special by doing what we're going to put you to do? So, and that's how the pitch in the Sea Org went too, you guys. So I think we see ourselves in Mila Kunis a lot. Never mind that we were being lured to become slaves and she was being lured to become a slave master, right? Because that's the only difference between Hollywood and Scientology. Scientology enslaves their people, and then Hollywood actually just, does all manner of other stuff. Question: what roles do Tom Cruise's kids, Belle and Connor, play in the COS? More than just a dream. They play the role of lurers of other kids, for example. Okay, because again, if other kids see other kids inside these hotels, if other underage kids see that other underage kids were put to do this, then that's how the adults normalized it for us. And we were talking about that in our interview today with Katrina earlier on, that the adults were literally using other kids and putting them in those hotels with us so that it just looked like, if the Joneses are doing it, then everyone can do it. I mean, it was just like keeping up with the Joneses, you guys. It was just, if they did it, we can do it. If they did it, then they do it too. So just really crazy. Well, thank you, Rocket Dog, for your super sticker and your little doggy. He's so cute. Look at that tongue, you guys. So cute. Here's another one. Jodie Foster played AP in Shadows and Fog. I mean, disgusting. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. We don't need to see those stories. Save those stories, right? You guys, like, literally, like, as if we really need to see a ton of stories of kids being subjected to that. Like, that's really going to do anything. Tina and the last 20. Who in the F wants to contribute to these criminals? Nope, not me. Well, thank you, Tina. Yeah. Who in the F wants to do that? I mean, we don't. We don't. So now we know why Mila's parents have never taken a dime from Mila. She sold her soul for fame. Yeah, Sky Queen. And I think that Mila did end up buying them a house. So, never mind that, I mean, again, it's like, imagine the psychology of Mila Kunis being told that she can be unhinged, that she can do whatever in the hell she wants because she's Mila Kunis. And they're going to pay her millions and millions and millions because it's not like they're not just using her image and her likeness to sell something, right, guys? And that's the formula that these show producers were looking for. Who do we have to have inside this sitcom to really sell so that we can make money? So, Mila's parents, yeah, if you want to be an actor, fine, go be an actor, but maybe don't throw your 13-year-old girl into the literal wolves. Maybe that's not a great idea. One Love. The problem is that no matter how much they normalize their own adultization as minors, it spills over into society and creates more child victims over and over and over. Why don't they understand? Thank you, One Love. That's exactly a very good point to be making. What's this? Hi, Serge. Were you able to keep your culture? I mean, I'm Mexican, you guys, and that was very influenceable for me as my younger years. Like, I grew up going to museums in Mexico. I was really into art as a kid. Then I went to these Montessori schools where I didn't learn much, but I did learn a lot about paintings, because in Montessori school, they let you do whatever you want. And they had this like material where you could just like learn all the paintings of the artists or whatever. So I really was into painters and stuff like that. So I have some culture, but not a lot because my formative years were stolen. So thank you, LRM. Children of Scientology. Oh my God, just totally triggered a weird memory. Beck's stepmom, Raven Kane, used to come to CC Clearwater Mission of Clearwater. She wrote a Broadway play, Ataria. We performed in the Fort Harrison Chapel. I was a prostitute at 14. OMG. You guys, shout out to Beck's mom, Raven Kane, that was also into writing roles for kids to play prostitute. I mean, literally, this took place at the Fort Harrison Chapel, you guys. So shout out to Beck that says, oh yeah, that was so about my parents and it didn't spill over to me. Don't be a liar. Stop being a liar, Beck. Stop being a liar to protect your image and to not literally make all your fans want to vomit when they hear where you come from and all the lies that you put on the record, instead of just coming clean and saying, yeah, guys, I grew up in this crazy ass, disgusting, abusing, literal hotel. And it's transparency and actual accountability what we're looking for, literally. Serge, it's unthinkable what they did and do to you and all these other kids. Do you think all these lawsuits exposing the crimes getting covered up will expose the children being abused? I mean, to a degree, right, Frizino? To a degree, the civil lawsuits that we have, never mind that there's not a shred of criminal lawsuit, you guys. There's not a shred of criminal lawsuit looking into the unthinkable, disgusting details that we go over here, that we tag the FBI, we tag the LAPD, we tag the Clearwater Police, and go over to my social media at Serge Del Mar, and we're starting to tag a whole bunch of people there, right? So let's just see for how many literal years do these people want to pretend that they don't have a shred of a clue about anything. Because while civil lawsuits are great to expose some of the details, because then the corporate media can play dumb and they feel very protected to write something about something. When is the corporate media going to go buy themselves a pair of Google glasses and take their own damn weight inside of those things and do their own investigation? They can pay for OT3, right, guys? They could literally just pay for OT3, have their Google glasses, record everything so that they know that we're not just sitting here wasting our time, blabbing our mouth, wanting to waste it more. It's not like our whole entire formative years were not already wasted. So now You know, and in what world does the corporate media think we just want to waste our time? It's called y'all are not doing y'all's jobs. Y'all are just interested in cash, quick cash for your damn selves. All American corporate media, you guys, from Time Magazine on down. Because, you know, it's not like the corporate media is all over helping these people launder their image. How much time did it take the corporate media to write a shred of a thing about Epstein and Ghislaine? Just think about that, you guys. How long did those people get ignored by the corporate media, ignored all the women that came forward, ignored all the police information that was already inside the police that had already been reported? So it's hard to think that anyone is going to do anything, you guys, until it gets bad for them, right? Because that's the only thing that seems to work in America. When the consequences start becoming, oh my God, people are really finding out all this shady stuff that we've been doing. Let's really check the law. Oh my God, we just found so many laws that were being broken in Scientology hotels. All of a sudden, we really can enforce the law. So I'm sure somebody's going to come in, a white, you know, shiny hero is going to come in and be like, we literally figured it out. Thank you guys for literally wasting all your time, all those years that we haven't done a shred of a thing. But, you know, it has to become something these people feel is an actual threat to themselves. And right now, they just all want to stand with Hollywood and Scientology because this country really runs on laws, you guys. We don't seem to be able to find the laws. I mean, at least not the law enforcers, because we actually did find the laws. And, you know, we don't need one more single shred of law. We need someone to enforce what's already there. It's uncomfortable. I had to dress up slutty heels, tight dress, heavy makeup, and rub up against a 30-year-old dude, Tom Godfrey, who then asked me to mock up a 2D with me, aka SEX, you guys. And this is from Children of Scientology, Christy Gordon, who was on our podcast just 2 days ago, coming with literal first and last names of the Scientologists who were tapped by Beck, musician of the year, Rolling Stone darling, Beck, the mom, the deranged, disgusting, psychopathic mom that Beck has, just like a lot of these Scientology moms, Carol Masterson, another one, Sandra Gill, my mother, another unhinged, depraved Scientology mother. That was all about this. Katrina Reyes today, she called us. Her mom liked being sadistic. She enjoyed it. Our moms were on power trips from hell, you guys. That were all because L. Ron Hubbard fed them some crying, disgusting, ridiculous stuff that doesn't make any sense. Especially in this year 2023. My dad used to beat me really bad, almost monthly. One time I was so blacked out and blue, pulled out of school for 2 weeks because I fell down the stairs. Sorry to hear that, Rabbit Kisses. I don't know if that was in Scientology or not, but, you know, a lot of these Scientology people were a lot about, you know, discipline. We're getting your ethics in is what they called it when they were beating us, when they were abusing us. They were always pretending that they were doing us a favor. So you didn't deserve any of that, Rabbit Kisses. And we see you. We literally see you. Oh, here you go. Says, it was like a dictatorship. My abusive father. COS seems like a dictatorship cult hybrid. Yes. That's very much what it is, right? Like these people become so enamored with their so-called, you know, specialness that they give themselves the ability to dehumanize themselves and act in a power trip type way. All of these horrible mothers. What year did I leave COS? I left in 2015. So I was like already mid my 30s in 2015. Question. Serge, did you settle with COS or are you pursuing legal action? Have you looked at the statute of limitations? It was multi-jurisdictional for you. Yeah, Rabbit. I did everything in my power to get legal representation in this country after finding out that every law in the literal book that's written in black and white was broken. So the problem we have is twofold. Civil trials are expensive AF. I mean, literally, you know, with these lawyers charging upwards of $500 an hour, even when they take a case on contingency, right? It's all about them having to calculate, you know, well, how much money could I really make and how much money am I going to have to put and how long could this really go for? So it doesn't ever make a shred of sense economically for attorneys to do anything with us when they know that they're up against a multi-billion-dollar organization that collects billions and billions, you know, a week, that they will just literally do the most unthinkable, unethical things to really just bankrupt and derail every possible shred of opportunity from, you know, victims of civil lawsuits, right? So the civil lawsuits is a broken method. Never mind that also we don't want a monetary settlement, which is all that they're going to offer. Oh, here's some blood money from other kids that are suffering in there. And if you really do sign these contracts that we're going to give you now, after, you know, 10 years of, you know, with lawyers telling you to shut the F up because you can't say a single shred of a thing because otherwise you're really going to ruin your case, you know. So we completely lost faith in the civil people being able to do anything because it doesn't make economic sense for them to do anything. And our cases are criminal in nature AF. This is not a single situation that happened to a single person that has a single problem and everyone should just go and continue having a jolly old time. This is called racketeering at scale, you know. And yes, the police, I went to the Clearwater police and trust you, believe me, we're going to get into the receipts on the unthinkable, abysmal corruption inside of that department. Because you know what we do have after having done our due diligence, after having reported everything, we have receipts, you guys. We have receipts to prove how recklessly negligent at best Clearwater Police is being paid to be by all the Clearwater citizens that are subsidizing their Clearwater Police Department, who also doesn't get enough subsidies from the people to really do their job. So they go and outsource it from Scientology. And just like that, they literally grab a pen and literally go like this into their eyeballs until they're bleeding and they're completely blind and being total useful idiots for now the traffickers, you know. And Scientology is so good at selling themselves as we're really doing a lot of good, you guys. You have no idea, Clearwater Police. Here's some muffins, here's some flowers, here's some baskets for you. And, you know, they've had years of sending them honeypots like, oh yeah, here's Marisol Nichols, LAPD, go rub elbows or whatever else you rub with Marisol Nichols, because why not? So we have a corrupt system of justice that is so pathetic and so disgusting that they're not doing a shred of a thing, you know. And at least now with our platforms here on YouTube, with all of you guys listening to all of these unthinkable abuse, we have the court of public opinion, which does count, right? When all of these corporate media, all of these corporate talking heads have been lying through their teeth, applying not a shred of pressure for these people to not target minors. playing dumb, that they cannot figure it out. If a convicted felon said it, is it really legal? Is it really unethical? Or is it just, if the parents really signed up for the trafficking, then it's all okay? I mean, Thomas C. Tobin is still in his office wondering if everything that's already been put on the public record is illegal or just, just another, way to people really express themselves religiously. Because apparently in America, the religion is abuse and enslave kids ad nauseum and at scale. And that is not a problem whatsoever. So Umberlina, Serge, every time I hear you speak, my heart goes out to you. I'm sorry you had to endure this. Well, thank you, Umberlina. Yeah, I mean, our heart goes out to the kids that are still there, right? Like, I consider myself having been one of the few lucky ones that have been able to leave and have been able to live to tell. Never mind that there were plenty of potholes in me getting to this place today, right? Like there were plenty of times where I could have ended up like Benjamin Keogh, because that's what we were driven to want to do to ourselves by all of that abuse. So I do appreciate that, Merlina, and y'all's support and y'all showing up for us today is making such a big difference. So don't for a second think that what we're doing here is not making a difference, because trust me, those people at those hotels are literally shitting bricks as we speak, because they know they don't have a muscle over our mouths today. And they know how many kids are contacting us on the daily. I mean, that's why I keep showing up late to these lives, you guys, because kids are literally calling every day. I'm having more conversations. More kids are wanting to come forward. More kids are wanting to go tell their story. More kids are wanting to speak about the unthinkable abuses that, they were made to be part of. So we're going to be coming up with you guys with more receipts and more kids. And, trust us, like as much as we grow this community of child advocates, we're not looking for handouts from the government to really fight this problem a la Ashton Kutcher. We literally don't give a shred of an F about the money. We only give a shred of an F about these people doing their goddamn jobs. That's literally all we care about. Martha, Serge, Mark Bunker is on Clearwater City Council. Can he bring this as an item onto the City Council agenda? Yeah, Martha. I mean, we'll see. It's all of us going on the public record already has been there. So I've never met Council Mark Bunker. I like the reporting he's done. I've highlighted, the reporting that he has done as one of the best that I've seen. One of the ones that actually humanize the victims of these crimes instead of dehumanizing and acting like he's some sort of know-it-all, even though, because that's a problem with a lot of these reporters, right, guys? Like they act like as if they're know-it-alls. Like, oh, I have such a great degree. Never mind that they never stepped foot inside that hotel. And what City Councilman Mark Bunker has shown us is that he's actually allowed victims to have a voice for themselves and get into the weeds of stuff instead of trying to really cash a quick check with 5 minutes, cut everything down, and let's go to the next thing because we're really scared of being sued. All of this talking points about, oh, we're so scared of being sued and aren't we so scared? And it's like, really? Are you really that scared? Because they haven't sued a shred of a person. So, as much as people want to pretend that they're just so, really scared of the lawsuits, this corporate media could not have, they're afraid of literals not having a spine. Probably the Clearwater, Tampa Bay Times, same SB Times, used to be SB Times. And, their business model could not be failing more. People are not tuning into their so-called news anymore because they know that all they do is regurgitate corporate interest into their stories. You know, another 501c, the Tampa Bay Times, that could not be more pathetic. Supposedly in their website, if you go to the Tampa Bay Times 501c website, we really want to teach journalists how to investigate. Well, you know what? Maybe have your journalists go take a course in one of those L. Ron Hubbard interrogation courses that I used to teach as a kid, because believe you me, L. Ron Hubbard did teach us how to interrogate and how to not miss. So our instincts could not be any stronger. Tampa Bay Times, that really wants to be the beacons of hope for journalism. Journalism is literally BS, you guys. I'm sorry, but that profession could not be any more broken, could not have every last incentive so twisted in its head that's why it cannot actually produce any real products. They're all just worried about money and not about facts. Worried about what's going to make a quick, get rich quick. Let's really get rich quick, fast. Nobody wants to buy newspaper because everything's online anymore. So, you know, let's not really do any real investigations that are going to cost us money, you know? So it's like they don't want to put any skin in the game, but they want to reap all the rewards. So that's why they're getting called out. All this corporate media talking heads and ineffective AF reporters that have enabled that trafficking. I mean, you guys get it. Like, you guys have been checking with us. In 3 lines, you're able to say more truth than all of these entire editorial boards combined. I mean, as if it's that hard, you guys. I mean, that's what has been done with this whole subject. It's so confusing. There's so many things to really consider. What in the hell is anyone considering? Because that's what we're asking today. Right, guys? So, in short, to sum up what we learned today, you guys, is that Hollywood and Scientology are partnering. They love each other. They're all in bed with each other. The Hollywood people, the traffickers of kids, they're all into it. They're all normalizing it. They all think they're part of the cool club. You know, they really want to have a lot of money for themselves because nothing is enough. Nothing is ever enough. And, you know, they use all of this corporate media to popularize themselves and sell shit. Never mind that the product can be, including but not limited to, an unregistered security scam called Stoner Cats, while also writing from the other side of their mouth that they couldn't be more anti-drugs. Like Mila Kunis told us today that, you know, lying is okay, because if you fib, if you just change the word from lying to fibbing, then all of a sudden it sounds really innocent, and then all of a sudden no one will notice. But, you know, I think that we're noticing, you guys, and I think that we couldn't be more revolted or disgusted. But at the end of the day, kids that are being exposed to the scourge of Hollywood and Scientology one day will not be exposed to that, because sunlight is the best disinfectant. And these people are counting on having a very shadowy game where everyone just pretends that no one knows anything and everyone just plays dumb and dumber. Those are all the roles that are being played in this year 2023, you guys. Dumb and dumber. So let's really put it out there, the message. We're holding auditions with people that have a spine. We need reporters with this, you guys. Reporters, prosecutors, FBI agents, Clearwater police people, you know, child protective services, mandated reporters, doctors, nurses that are seeing all these children in those hotels that are supposed to be reporting on the abusive stuff that they do get to see. But if they don't have a spine, then you're not going to get the audition. You're going to flunk it. We're going to get rid of you. We're not going to want to have anything to do with y'all. If you want to make quick cash, get lost. And so far, we have not one single taker, guys. As of this year 2023, we don't have a shred of taker, because the corporate media is still busy playing dumb and pretending that, trafficking of minors and abuse of minors and all the laws that have already been written ad nauseum are so complicated and convoluted that they can make a shred of change. So let's just dumb it down for these people so that they can't play dumb with us, you guys. That's the last thing we're going to do before we wrap up today. So Thomas C. Tobin and Clearwater Police and LAPD Human Trafficking Division. Here you go. You only have to learn 2 things today. Okay? Just 2. Don't overwhelm your brains. We don't want to overwhelm y'all's brains whatsoever. So go write your notes so you really write it on a notepad that you have to look for fraud and coercion on kids. And if you just see that there's fraud and coercion, you need to really pull the string. Why are kids being defrauded? Why are kids getting coerced into playing roles that are not at all appropriate for kids? And, shout out to the whole leadership team at Thorn, trafficking specialists that they purport to be, the ones that are getting the big bucks from Congress to fight anything. Since y'all don't have Ashton, who apparently doesn't have a shred of a clue what in the hell he's doing, since y'all really did get rid of him, then y'all come to us and explain what in the hell we just went over in this entire 2 hours almost of this live, and start pitching us what in the hell you're actually combating. Because we couldn't be more confused right about now what in the literal hell y'all are combating there at Thorn with your tech bros that really want to, stamp out trafficking of minors. And let's get our message out, you guys. Go to Instagram, write y'all's questions to the FDLE, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, who's sleeping at the wheel, snoring, and, having all manner of certificate power. Let's really give a certificate to these human trafficker investigators. Let's really have an international human trafficking summit in Clearwater to really discuss nothing. So there's where we are, you guys. So we'll keep you guys posted. We're going to be having more interviews coming up, more kids advocating on behalf of kids, because if you're 21 and under, that's who we are advocating for. That's what we're advocating for, because 21 and under is indefensible what in the hell they're doing inside those hotels. 21 and up, you know what? Go get yourselves a criminal advocate. A criminal defense attorney can be y'all's advocate that can really look at the laws and be like, oh my God, you really did F up here. You really did sign a horrible contract here. So if you're 21 and up and involving yourself in Scientology hotels and in Hollywood schemes, including but not limited to Hollywood schemes, tapping minors to really sit on Ashton Kutcher's lap, then, the best advocate you deserve is one that you can pay for. Just Google it. Best criminal defense attorney in the United States. Google that quickly and stop paying a retainer to those advocates, because trust us, you'll need it. You'll need it quick. If you're a Scientology parent, get yourselves the best. Shout out to my parents. They should be literally looking for the best criminal attorney they can find in America for themselves. And maybe they can pitch insanity, right, guys? Maybe they can be like, we were so insane. L. Ron Hubbard told us to do all of this. And maybe the courts have to go with that, because maybe they will get some experts that will say, you know what, they were really driven insane. So they didn't know what in the hell they were doing. And, all of those things are on the table, right, guys? They can go to the FBI themselves. They can turn in the receipts. They can turn in all the evidence. But in the meantime, it is up to us to do that work and that advocacy, you guys. So we don't mind doing it. We've been doing heavy lifting our entire childhood. And apparently, as adults, we've only gotten stronger. So we're now more dedicated to do more heavy lifting and, calling out corrupt entities that are just in for quick cash and quick checks that they can pay themselves. And we don't want to do that. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this live. And I will see you all extremely soon. Bye-bye. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you.